we had quite a few people that actually, signed up, got involved, quite a few people that promoted. So we need your help this morning. Okay. It gives like Wes is gonna do a big part of this training this morning, guys. Let's give him the energy. Let's give it up because he's put something together that no other company has on the membership side and on the compensation side. So let's show our appreciation for what we have here. Let's light this chat box up, make it happen in a big, big way. So, are you guys with me? There we go. Okay, let's make it happen. So, guys, look, let me tell you about Wes Melcher. Wes actually, his life has been travel over the last 25 plus years. He has probably more relationships in travel than anybody else out there. He has put together a product here and a membership here that's unlike anything else in the industry. And on top of it, he's a huge network marketer. He was one of the co-founders of a company that went on to become the largest travel club in the world, millions and millions of members, billions of revenue, billions of dollars in revenue. But guys, look, he put something together here that has never been done before in the industry. Do not take it for granted. We got the best product, we got the best comp plan, and you are on the very front end of this. We try to get as many people to see that as possible. So you guys give it up in the chat box. Give me some, I see fire emojis. I see clapping. Guys, give it up for Wes Melcher. He's got some new announcements and that kind of thing. So, Wes, are you there?
I'm here, buddy. Good to see you.
Good to
Glad
see
you're
you. Good
glad you're
morning.
staying warm. I'm requesting warm weather for Memphis for next Saturday. A week from today, we'll be in Memphis, and so really glad to see so many people on here already early this morning. We just sent out an alert, so hopefully we'll get some more people on there. If you see people that are not here that are on your team, make sure you shoot them a quick text and get them on here because today's training has never been done before. I'm going to walk you through all of the new app features, all of the new website features. I'm going to talk to you about the product, and then Denson's going to wrap up with some things that are happening in the business. We got a ton of promotions. I mean, literally every day this week, we had new people ranking up. We've had massive sales weeks over the last few weeks. So, congratulations to everybody who's been participating in the growth of what we've accomplished over the last few weeks. I mean, coming out of Miami, the growth and the excitement and the energy has been unlike anything we've really seen since we launched. So just super excited to be here today with everybody, and also reminding everyone that today's Super Saturday was actually supposed to be taking place in Dallas. But due to the weather and the storms, we decided to make this virtual Super Saturday open and available to everybody. And we will be recording this. So we're posting it as soon as this training is done. So if you know somebody that couldn't be on today, whether it was for work or other activities, or they're stuck or stranded somewhere, or maybe they don't have Wi-Fi, who knows what the situation may be. But we do know that a lot of people are home right now, and they could definitely be listening to this if they don't listen to it live right now. You want to make sure that everybody gets on this because one of the things that I've really seen over the last several months is the teams that are really in tune with what's going on in the company, knowing how to use the app, knowing what features are there, knowing where to find things. Those are the teams that are really growing. And then I see people send messages to support, and they don't know where anything is on the app or on the website. And it's really obvious to me because I oversee all of the support chats. And so it's obvious to me the teams that are not really getting with their people and making sure that they understand all of the value of everything we have built. I mean, we have an incredible director of member experience, Eva Nightingale, and she has helped bring us into a world-class product environment. I mean, nobody else has what we have. You heard me last week talk about this new concept of being a digital country club, a digital social club, and that's really what we are. We are not a travel company. All of our competitors in the direct sales space, you'll notice they call themselves a travel company. In fact, MWR is relaunching, even though they're in the US and they're based in Fort Lauderdale since 2012 or 13, but they're launching in North America in 22 days, which is really strange to me, but just goes to show you that people will spin anything to try to get people to sign up. But What's interesting about that is they call themselves the fastest growing travel platform in the direct sales industry, network marketing industry, and that's all they refer to themselves as a travel company. And there's going to be more competitors. There's people copying everything we're doing, but all of those companies are just offering travel. And of course, we have so much more to offer. Not only is our travel technology the best, and nobody has what we have in terms of travel, and we're going to go through that today, but on top of that, we also have all of these other ancillary benefits. And so you want to make sure that you're making sure when you're explaining to people and you're talking to your new members that you're showing them where all this stuff is and you're walking them through it. We have so much value, so much in our membership proposition. We honestly should be charging $400 or $500 a month. In fact, people spend thousands of dollars on timeshares and hundreds of thousands of dollars on golf memberships, and they don't offer nearly what we offer in terms of value. So we really are underpriced in the marketplace, in my opinion. And so keep that in mind as we're going through all of this. It's important for you to get this information to your teams and most importantly to your new people. Like I said, I can tell which teams are really dialed in and know all this stuff and have used it and have saved and have booked because your teams are not sending support messages like, well, where do I book car rentals? Or, where do I book flights? I mean, they're asking questions that everybody should know, okay? And a lot of those basic questions are even answered on the front page of our new website under the FAQ section. And so we're going to go through some stuff today that is going to be great for you to share with your prospects, great for you to share with your members. It will really help them engage. And the new user experience is absolutely amazing. And so, like I said, we were supposed to be doing this training today in Dallas, but due to the weather, we decided to make this virtual. But we are going to be in Memphis next Saturday. So Denson and I will be in Memphis next Saturday. We're going to be doing a presentation on Saturday evening. I think we are probably going to do a presentation on Friday night as well. So we're going to be doing Friday night in Memphis, Saturday, Super Saturday in Memphis, and then Saturday evening presentation. So you definitely want to make sure that you've got Memphis on your calendar. And for those of you that are in Memphis or within a couple hours of Memphis, it's really important that you shoot your team messages today and tell them to buy tickets to the training, okay? Because we will be closing the ticket sales for the Memphis Super Saturday on Monday at 5 p.m. Central. So Monday at 5 p.m. Central, the tickets will come down, and then you will only be able to buy them at the door. And here's the news for you if you didn't get this in Miami. Tickets at the door to the Super Saturday will be $50, okay? So if you buy them before Monday at 5 p.m., $25. And remember, you can do packages of 10 for only $150. So that's $15 a ticket. But if you wait until after Monday at 5 o'clock when that event will come down, you will be paying $50 at the door. So make sure you get that to your teams and let them know so that they're not like, well, you didn't tell me that I had to do it by Monday at 5 o'clock or I had to pay $50. That's what we've been telling everybody since Miami. That is going to be our system for all of these Super Saturdays. It will be $25 in advance. The week of or walk-ups will be $50. And if you buy packs of 10 for your team, only $15 a ticket. So that's the most important thing to think about. I know there's a lot of people on here from Memphis and you've not gotten your tickets yet. So I would do it while we're sitting here because we're going to be in the app. We're going to be talking about it. Do it right now. There's no reason to wait because Denson and I have some incredible content planned for you next Saturday. So there will not be a corporate training next Saturday. There's only going to be the Super Saturday live in Memphis. And so if you have new people that join this week, I would make sure that you get them this recording, and you could even do a watch party with your team and watch this recording that we're doing today and have your own Super Saturday if you're not able to come to Memphis. So I would definitely recommend that for everybody. Sorry, just got my alert here on my battery. So I would make sure that you've got something figured out for your team next Saturday since we're going to be live in Memphis and we won't be doing the regular corporate training. I would do something for your team. So with that said, I've got some exciting information to share with you today. And I'm going to walk you through all of these new benefits and all of these new buttons. One of the things that I want to tell you guys is here we go. Okay. Now, one of the things that's really important to understand about all these new buttons and all these new features, okay, is that we are still working on some of these buttons. So there, you might see over the next few days as we're making all of these new changes go live, you may see some buttons that are broken or that are, the image is not correct or something like that. If you see anything, please make a support request. If you see any buttons or you click on something and it's not responding, if you're doing it on your app, please make sure you tell us when you make your support request. Always include a screenshot. So I'm asking all of you to help us as we get all of these new tools live. So we are officially in beta. And so, as you know, if you've been with us for a year and a half, you know that when we introduce new things, this is software, this is technology, everybody does this, you go into beta. And so beta, it means that it's not official yet. So it's not fully live and 100% functional. So all of these new buttons, all of this new user interface, tons of unique features, including Benefits Hub, which we've been talking about. We've been waiting on their API integration. They are now live. So if you see any buttons or you see anything broken or there's anything we need to fix, please just make a support request. Always include a screenshot. Don't ever, it's a good rule of thumb. Don't ever make a support request unless you include a screenshot. Okay. If you're doing anything in reporting as far as functionality or you're asking a question about your back office or whatever, always include a screenshot so we know what you're seeing. Here's the other thing that's important. If you're sending us information, you need to tell us which browser you're on. You need to tell us which phone you're on, and you need to tell us where exactly you saw it and include the screenshot. So those things are really important. If not, we have to go back and forth until we can figure out what you're actually seeing, what's taking place, what's not working. And so if you can screenshot it and then circle it when you attach it, that would be great, even better. Okay, but at a bare minimum, if you're going to do this, if you're going to make a support request on any issues with the new website or the new app, please make sure you always include a screenshot. Okay, so with that said, let's walk through the new website. And if you've not already seen this, we were really excited about the new website. We think that this is going to be something that really takes us to the next level in terms of sharing our story and really having people see the experiences of what it's like to be part of BrightLife. And so the new website, when you go and you log in, of course, you're going to have an opportunity to get access to everything we're about to talk about. But if you've not gone through the new website and looked at everything, all the testimonials, all the features of BrightLife, the new FAQ page, the new FAQs are at the bottom of the homepage. So all of this stuff we worked on for months and months and months, making sure that everything was dialed in and was great content and really shared the vision. When we built our first website back in early 2024, we were just a travel company. We were just doing a hotel search and we were just doing the bucket list trip. We've grown so much since that initial launch. And that's why we needed to go through this user experience redesign, this interface redesign, and this website redesign. Now, once you're logged in, you're going to see new menu buttons, okay? And these new menu buttons had popped up over the last few weeks as we were adding all the new features to the website. But as you saw, if you clicked on them, there was nothing there. Now, when you go click on these buttons, you will see all of the new buttons that take you to all of the benefits. We've tried to do redirects and shortcuts to some of the different features that people commonly ask about. And so Eva's done an incredible job working with our vendors to create direct links to different services and benefits that we offer. But when you log into the website, you will see this menu. You'll see Travel Life, Live Life, Well Life, and Give Life. You'll also see Bucket List Life. And so those are all part of our new program in terms of what the benefits are with BrightLife. Now, as far as Travel Life goes, we're going to start here. And this is probably one of the most important things that we do because our hotel search engine technology is unlike anything else that's out there. In fact, we built all of it completely from scratch. The entire user experience, the entire checkout process, everything we do is built completely from scratch. And so when you go into Travel Life, you will see several different benefits in terms of what's available. Now, this is when you're looking at the front page of the website. So this is not when you're logged in. I'm going to get to that logged in portion in just a minute. But you'll see the different categories that we offer in Travel Life on the homepage of the website. And then Live Life will also show you different categories that we offer. So these are the buttons and tiles profiles that you see on the guest facing portion of the website. Once you log in, you will see completely different buttons that actually correspond to all these benefits. But when you're on the home page of the website, before you're logged in, people can preview all of the different types of benefits that we offer in descriptions. So when you mouse over them or click them, depending on if you're on mobile or desktop, you will see the different benefits described on these sub pages. So we now have a sub page on our website that goes through all of these different categories, talks about well life. We've got testimonials that are geared towards that specific pillar of the program. So we've got well life testimonials, we've got give life testimonials, and we've got our bucket list life testimonials as well. Now, once you log in, when you log in, you're going to see a new set of buttons, and you're also going to see access to the back office. Now, the back office also still has some quick links in it. If you'll notice, some of this will probably change over time in the back office, but you will see that right now, while we're doing this migration and moving to this new site, you will see that we still have the buttons on there. Book a trip, you still see bucket list, you have your reservations, you have Bright Life trips, you have resort weeks. All of those features are in the back office menu as well. So if you have any problems with those new buttons, when you get logged in, you can still access all of the benefits from right here in the back office. And of course, in the back office is where you have your profile. And we are adding some new profile features that you're going to see in the profile. They'll probably be live this week. And we are asking for everybody to upload their photo, and you're going to be able to upload your user ID for social media so we can find you easier. We can get a photo for you for recognition. So if you don't upload a photo here in your profile, we don't have one for recognition for you. We'll have to go find one, and it may not be the one you want. So we're asking everybody to update their profile on here, so that way we can get your social media links, and we have a photo that we can use for recognition, and be able to have access to your social pages for shout outs and so forth. Now, when you go past this inside of the app, okay, the new app design also has other new features in it as well, okay? And once you're logged in, you're going to see a new interface in terms of your status. And one of the things that's really important here on the app, once you're logged in, is you will see your billing dates, okay? That's really important because our billing dates run 28 days. So it's not 30 days, it's not 31 days, it's not a calendar month, because we can't do a calendar month because each month has a different amount of days. And since we pay our commissions weekly, and since we calculate everything weekly, we have to do it in 28 days, which is 4 7-day increments. So all of our accounting, all of our commissions, all of our residuals are paid weekly. So that's why we bill in 28-day increments. And so it's really important for you to monitor this so you can see what day your billing date is for this billing cycle. Okay, so whenever you make your payment, you'll see your next payment due on that page when you log in. You'll also see your status, you'll see free life, you'll see how many members you have, you'll see your travel dollars, all of your dashboard is there, your bucket list trip, you can edit your bucket list trip. We do ask you to make sure that you have finalized your bucket list trip within 30 days of when you are set to receive it. And I would probably, to be safe, I would make sure it's 60 days. And so if you do not have all 10 destinations selected for your bucket list trip, you will not get a bucket list trip. Really important that you have all 10 selected. So make sure that that's in and done. And then once you've got your bucket list destination selected, we also ask you that you don't change them, because we run the reports periodically on that, and we may miss changes because we've already loaded your destination. So the only reason that you should make a change is if something happens dramatically, but we ask that if you don't, especially we don't want people going in and changing them all the time. So make sure that your list is final and in place, I would say within 60 days before you're due for your bucket list trip. Now, when you go to the app, inside of the app, you will see the hotel booking icon. Okay, so you'll see that little hotel booking icon there, the little globe. That globe is where you click to book travel. Now, this is, like I said, this is really our wheelhouse. This is what we're known for. This is our unique interface. This is really important for our overall, in the overall brand in the marketplace. You want to make sure that you know how this works. You can explain how it works so your people know how it works. And so I'm going to go through some very important tips for you right now that are very important on how to use this. Okay, first of all, you don't want to search for an individual hotel in that search box. So here's the thing. That search box is confusing a little bit because it says search for a hotel. You're not going to put the hotel's name in, okay? The way we built this search engine is based on geography, okay? So the best way to search and use our tool is to put in a city and a state, okay? So you want to put in a city. You don't want to put in like a slang for like whenever you're in one of the boroughs in New York, you don't want to put in like meatpacking district. And, I had somebody that I talked to yesterday about they were looking for Turks and Caicos. Well, Turks and Caicos is actually two places, okay? It's Turks and then it's Caicos. And so if you put in Turks Island, if you put in Caicos, or there are some geographical areas that are around that, that is the easiest way to find things, okay? So if there's ever something that you're confused about or don't understand, just reach out to somebody that's on your team, but geography is your best friend, okay? So searching with city and date, that's the way it's intended to work. There are some other things that will show up, and we've tried to add to this database, but this is not a full knowledge database of every word that you could potentially put in. We built it around geography. That's why when you log on to the app, and you click on the globe, when you click it, like right now, if I go click that, it's going to know where I'm at. So it's searching because it's geo tracking. My location is turned on. And so it's literally looking at what's around me right now in terms of what is here. And so when you put in it knows what's here. I didn't even have to put in a place. I just literally just started searching because it's geo tracked. So geo, short for geography, that's the way we built this technology. Because one of the features that I loved on another travel booking app was on the app, when you opened it, it knew where you were at. Because if you were looking for a hotel that same day or the next day, chances are you were probably already where you were searching. So there's got to be a default, and that's what we chose as the default, and that's how we built our search mechanism. Okay, so once you put in your city and dates, okay, then you can let our technology go to work. Now, I just did a search right before we started the training, and I was looking at some hotels in Vegas for Super Bowl weekend, okay? So I'm going to pull it up here and show you. All right. So I searched Super Bowl weekend, which is February 6th through the 9th in Vegas, okay? And what I did was I searched via star ratings, okay? So I did star ratings. And so on booking.com, which is, by the way, one of the most popular sites, it's the number one site in terms of volume in the world, okay? And so the hotel that came up first is at a 9.5 rating, was the Conrad at Resorts World. Now, for those of you that know the Conrad, because we did our convention there last year, so I know several of you have actually stayed there. This is one of my favorite hotels there. I love the Conrad. I love the Conrad in Tulum. They also have other hotels that are part of Resorts World, okay? But this is the one that came up first on booking.com. Now, I want you to look at the price for February 6th through the 9th, okay? This was just the first thing that came up. So I wanted to do a head-to-head comparison on the highest rated hotel. The first one that came up was Conrad, okay? Now, you'll notice that it says on there, it says 712 was 849. Okay, so it's a savings of $182 on booking.com. Now, I did the exact same search just right before we started today on our app, and you'll see on here, I'm going to have to refresh it. Okay, now I'm going to go here and filter. You've got all these filter options. Okay, so highest discount, distance, lowest price, best rating, hotel stars, name. Okay, they're all here for you. Okay, here's the Conrad. All right. So, Conrad next weekend, Super Bowl weekend. This is for 3 nights at a 5-star hotel. Okay. Right here. 311. 311.97. And on booking.com, premium king bed, same room. Here's their savings of 182 a night. We'll select one of those. That's their cheapest. Okay, they've got more that are down here that are more expensive, but we're just going the same type of room. And here's the thing, look at all of this stuff. It's so confusing. It's so cumbersome. You've got all these charts and all these grids. I hate the booking.com booking experience. We made ours to be simple and easy. You'll see here the total with taxes and fees, $807. Okay, $807. The exact same room on our app, $361. Okay, guys, check this out. 361 versus 807. Now, some of you may be asking yourself, well, Wes, how come it didn't show on the Bright Life app a sticker, the yellow sticker? All right, let me explain to you how this technology works. Okay, this is really important to understand. Whenever you use our technology, when you put in your city and you put in your dates, okay, two things happen simultaneously. One, we use AI search to go out and find the best retail price. And then at the exact same time, we use our database of all of our wholesale rooms. And by the way, we have over 3 million. We have more inventory than any of our competitors in the direct sales space. And we also have more inventory than pretty much all of the major US OTAs, online travel agencies, because we have so much inventory globally, worldwide. But what happens is when you build code, okay, and so I'm going to nerd out on you guys for a little bit because I want you to understand this, okay? The AI search goes out. We search our database, 3 million properties, okay? And there's parameters. And the first parameter is 5 seconds, okay? So in 5 seconds, our systems return the results from searching 3 million properties, what they have available based on your city and dates. And it also searches within 5 seconds the best retail prices at everything in that city and date that we can go out and find and bring back in retail. Okay. So this is crazy. There's 2 massive chunks of technology that are out there working on your behalf. Here's the thing. If we don't pull back a retail price comparison and we cannot layer it. So once the results come back, then our system automatically layers them. So it sees, okay, we have this in retail and we have this in our inventory. Let's layer it on top. And it does the math and it shows you the percentage. We are the only travel company, all right, that offers this service in the world. No one else has this. No one. No Expedia, no Travelocity, no Orbitz, no Hotels.com, no MWR, no anybody else in the direct sales industry. No one else has this. Okay, this is 2 massive pieces of technology that does this real time. So AI search for the best retail price, searching 3 million in the database, layering it on top, creating a sticker, and doing all of that in 5 seconds. Okay, so what that means is that there are going to be a lot of searches that do not have a sticker because we either didn't find it fast enough, we couldn't sync it fast enough, or we couldn't find a reputable retail price that was apples to apples comparison of exactly what we had in the database, because it's just AI that we've developed that's going out and searching. Okay. So if you noticed on that one that I just showed you for the Conrad, $300 versus $900. Okay. That's 75% off. there could have been a sticker for 75% off on the Conrad, but there was no sticker. So what you need to understand is just because there's not a sticker does not mean that there's not a massive savings. Every hotel in our database is wholesale. So what I've seen in the $2 million that we booked through this technology and in thousands of searches that I've done myself, the worst case scenario is 3 to 7% less than like booking.com or Travelocity. That is worst case. Okay. I've never seen our site beaten. I'm sure it's technically it's possible to happen. I have never seen it personally, but the worst case that I've seen is like a 3 to 7% commission or discount because of the commissions and fees that are being kicked out that we're not charging. So that's usually like a worst case scenario. Best case, I've seen 60, 70, 80, even over 90% off on the technology. But just because there's no sticker does not mean that you're not getting massive savings. It just means that the AI could not go out and find a retail price comparison and pair it up in under 5 seconds, okay? The other thing is that you will see a lot of results, okay? And you will see different categories of that same room. So you'll see rate 1, rate 2, rate 3. Sometimes it has to do with if it's refundable, partially refundable, or non-refundable. But when you click on those rates, you will see them. Now, in our old version 1 of the technology, you will see that whenever you went and did the search, you would see a long list of the same category of room. Here's why you see the same category of room in our system listed multiple times. Same thing with booking.com. You just saw the chart, all the different what's included, what's not included. You got to scroll down. There's two queens, one king with balcony, one king with handicap accessible, whatever. Well, there's all of these room categories, but with us, we're an aggregator. Okay. So we pull back results from all the major suppliers, Expedia, booking.com, Agoda. I mean, we pull from so many different suppliers. And you know now, if you've booked through us, when you check in, they're going to say, oh yeah, you booked with Expedia. Oh yeah, you booked with Agoda. Oh yeah, you booked with hotels.com. Oh yeah, you booked with booking.com. The reason is because we are not the actual seller of travel. We are an aggregator. So we are not a travel company. Remember, we are a software company. None of our competitors in the direct sales space are a software company because they're all just using a white label website. So they are not a technology company. That's why they call themselves a travel company. And they're not even a real travel company. They're paying a monthly fee to have access to a white label website that you could go get for yourself for probably $5 to $10 or maybe $15 a month. And they're selling it for $100 or $130 or $140 with no loyalty, no other value, no other benefits. And that's all you're getting is a white label basic website. No app. None of our competitors have an app. Nobody, not one of them. I mean, even MWR and InCruises, they've been in business a decade. They still don't have what we have. I mean, this is crazy when you think about it. In fact, I just listened to the MWR CEO last week. They've been working on adding resort weeks, okay, which we've had now for months. They've been working on adding this. This was on his corporate update call. I just happened to see it on somebody's feed. And he said, we've been working on for months to add resort weeks into our MWR platform. I'm like, this is a company that supposedly did over $100 million in sales last year, and they've been in business for 12 years, and they still don't have what we have. And they've been working for months to try to add what we already have. And I doubt that it's even as good of a relationship. And they probably are not going to be as low of price as ours are because they'll try to mark theirs up and they'll make money on the bookings. And so, I mean, here's the thing, guys. You need to understand all of these different components and all of the way our technology works so that whenever people ask you, how come I don't see the stickers or how come this one doesn't show the savings? You need to be able to explain this to them because this is the kind of stuff that we can't tell every person whenever they're shopping and looking. And we're building some explainer videos and we're going to be doing an official product training to kind of go through some of the basics on this stuff. But it's up to you to make sure that people know and understand what they have their hands on, how powerful this technology really is. Okay. And so making sure that you understand the way the hotel search engine works. It's done with geography. You can sort and search. You can use the map to search. It's available on app and on the web. I mean, so if you ever have a problem on the app, you can go to the web. If you ever have a problem on the web, you can go to the app. And then, of course, anytime you have any issues, make a support request, do a screenshot, and let us know, and we'll be glad to check it out for you. So let's go back to the presentation. All right. You'll also see on the new website, you'll see a lot of our different partners and vendors that are on there. And all of these brands have some kind of a benefit or some kind of a perk inside of the app, whether it's in the app or it's in the website. Everything is ubiquitous now, so everything is in both places. All of the buttons are in both places. All of the benefits are in both places. So there's nothing that's available on the web and not on the app, nothing available in the app that's not on the web. And so this is the new Travel Life button. So you can do a shortcut to the globe and go to search travel. But if you click on the Travel Life button, you can also go and see hotels and resorts, which is what we were just talking about. You also get access to Resort Weeks, which is our timeshare inventory. We also have Resort Pass there. And then you can click on Live Life. Now, when you get into Live Life, all right, you're going to be able to see different components in there under Live Life. You'll see rental cars, you'll see cruises, you'll see yachts, you'll see private jets. You're going to see member deals. You're going to see going. You're going to see World Vantage. You're going to see Atomic Golf. You're going to see On Location. You're going to see Live Golf. And it's really important that you guys go through and really understand all of these different benefits. And if you want to book a tee time, you can go right in there into the World Vantage platform and request your tee time. You can see a list of all the courses there. Okay. Then we also have just added Benefits Hub. So if you have not seen Benefits Hub yet, please make sure you go in there. I know that there was a link redirect issue on the web. So I would go, or on the app. So I would go in through the web. If you've not already seen this, there are tons of benefits under Benefits Hub. So you want to make sure you go through there and look at everything. I don't have time today to go through all of the benefits. I'm going to just show you kind of some highlights of a few of these things. We have member deals, of course. We have Groot Hospitality, Foundation Room. We have Syncura, which is our white glove concierge. So we can get you tickets and access to restaurants and shows around the world. Then under dining, we have Bloomin' Brands and Darden restaurants. Under the shopping tab, we've got Frigidaire, we've got glasses. And then we have Well Life. Now, when you get into Well Life, when you click on that tile, okay, you're going to see all the different components. You're going to see physical, financial, and you'll see the benefits here. So you've got Aura, Happier, Echelon Fitness, Axios, Anytime Fitness. And then you're also going to see mental benefits as well. So you'll have mental, physical, and financial under the Well Life buttons. Then you'll be able to go into the menu tab on the app. So these are the same buttons, the same menu in the app and the web now. Now I'm going to talk about some of the actual specific deals. Okay, I want to cover some highlights. When you go and you search under member deals for tickets, I had a friend who just used this to buy tickets to the national championship. You can see on here tickets to the Super Bowl, about $1,000 savings there. We also have a partnership with On Location, which has one of the biggest Super Bowl parties in at the Super Bowl. They can get you access to the other parties. There's packages available. And so a lot of their packages, because of our discount, you're actually getting a package for less than what some people are paying just for tickets. And you're getting a full package. And so I highly suggest, if you're interested in these types of high-level sporting events like the Kentucky Derby, like the Super Bowl, like F1, you need to go check out the On Location portal. Here is an actual hotel savings. These have all been submitted by our members. Here's $854 saved versus Booking.com in the Bahamas. That was when some of our Australia members came over to our Bahamas trip. Also, we've had people save on a lot of different concerts. This was one that Tammy saved on when she went and saw Nico Moon. She also got backstage passes. All of this stuff was through the app. And then we also had VIP last night at Nico Moon, in Dallas at the Foundation Room in House of Blues. Those tickets aren't even available to the general public. We had the best tables in the entire show last night. I've taken my daughter to two different concerts, courtesy of Live Nation with this partnership, and they were both sold out. Great opportunity, great seats, best table in the house when we went to Max McNown. And then when we went to Toyota Music Factory, we got to cut the line. And the line was literally wrapped around 5 city blocks. It was crazy for Hudson Westbrook. And so just some really cool VIP experiences. This was a member testimonial from Going. If you have not signed up for Going, you should definitely go check it out. They'll give you a free trial. You can add your airports there and popular destinations that you want to go travel to, and they'll send you flight anomalies or flights that are underpriced or out of the norm, and you can set up the frequency of how often you want to get them, and we've got a great discount on the membership through that program. Then we've had members like Lanisa, who has actually paid $0 for all of these trips. Whenever you go through and look and see the benefits on the member page, when you go to the members only group, we're supposed to be posting our testimonials there, but also on the other Facebook group, which is the Bright Life Insider. And you want to make sure whenever you go post these, whenever you book anything, when you buy anything, make sure you're posting them. That's the most important thing. We talked about this last weekend in the training, but we've had several members that have shared these. Here's another tickets and Crockford's. When you see this, these savings happened in Vegas. You got $1,031 saved there. You've got another $839 saved here. I mean, you've got when Kurt and his family went to Vegas, they saved on tickets plus Atomic Golf. And so some great value on all of these benefits. And then Eva did a local, like a staycation, and she saved as well. And so if you go through and look at all of these buttons, I could sit here all day and talk about all of the value. But our goal with this new interface was to make the buttons easier, was to make shortcuts so that you could get to things faster. And when you get a chance to go through this and actually see all the new buttons, I would encourage you this weekend, while it's fresh on your mind, while you're thinking about it, I would get out there and go use these buttons and go search and play. If you don't click on all of them, if you don't understand where everything is, you're never going to get the full value proposition of what we've built and what we're offering. And so this was to give you an idea of the new buttons and what was there and how they worked, but you really need to dive in and click and do some searches. Search for a rental car, search for a hotel, search for tickets, search for shopping, dining, entertainment, search for Six Flags, search for SeaWorld. Like, go through and do these things, because if your people are asking you and you don't know how to do them, you don't know where the buttons are, you've never done it, you've never searched, are you really a good representation of what an influencer should be in helping their guests, helping their prospects, helping their members find things and search for things and book things? And so it really becomes you educating yourself, going through all of these new buttons, going through all of these new features, knowing where everything is at, so that when somebody joins, you can show them and share them. And if somebody asks you, you can tell them. You don't say, I don't know, I just signed you up for this. I don't know where that is. I don't know where you do that. I don't know how that works. I don't know how you get that. I don't know how you book a tee time. I don't know how you get rental cars. I don't know how you get cruises. Like I said, here's the thing. We get these emails, some of these questions in the support requests. And so I can see whose team they're on. I know who signed them up. So let's make sure that, I know I'm preaching to the choir because all of you here are learning and know it and you're doing it and you're using it, but it's the other people that aren't out here that are not on the training right now that don't know where everything is, that haven't gone through the app, that don't really know what they have their hands on. If you think about how powerful what we have our hands on, nobody has it. And let me just walk you through. I want to tell you some more of these features that nobody else has. Look at World Vantage, for example. Okay. We are the only non-country club facility. Okay, so we're the only digital country club that's part of the World Vantage network. Okay, there is no other non-physical country club company that gets these benefits and gives them to their members. Now, if you are part of one of the 250 private country clubs that are part of the World Vantage network, you can choose to add World Vantage benefits to the network on top of your country club dues. Now, when they do that, they charge between $200 a month and $400 a month just for World Vantage on top of your country club dues. So if you're a member of a club that's in the network, you can only use your club unless you add the $200 to $400 of World Vantage and pay extra to get access to the rest of the network. Okay. So 200 to 400 for just World Vantage. We include World Vantage in our price for the 179. I mean, hello, if you look at just that, I mean, 200 to 400 over the course of a year is at a minimum 2,400, probably in some cases almost 5,000 for just our golf benefits. None of our competitors have this. No other direct sales company has this. No other non-country club facility has this. This is a unique proposition just for us. Now look at the foundation room. Okay. Now, if you want to join the foundation room, there are 14 foundation rooms at the House of Blues around the country. Okay. Not at every House of Blues. There's only 14 of them. If you want to join as one club, your primary club where you live as an individual, it will cost you $5,000 per year to be able to go into the foundation room. $5,000 to go into one club. Now, to get a national membership, it's double. Okay, so it's $10,000, and you can go into any of the 14 foundation rooms. Okay, as an individual. All right. Now, as a member of Bright Life, you get access to all 14 foundation rooms anywhere. Anytime they're having a show, a concert, or an event, you have direct access to those tickets. They hold a certain amount of tickets back for foundation room members, so we get access to that. That alone is a $5,000 to $10,000 per person benefit. Nobody else gets this. No one else, unless you're paying $5,000 or $10,000. There's nobody else that's giving you this kind of benefit. Our members in Dallas are so spoiled because they go to the foundation room every Thursday. We've been doing an event there for a year and a half. Okay, Mike McVay and the team there do an incredible job with the foundation room in Dallas, and we love them. Hecky, the bartender, has worked there forever, and we love him, and we love the staff. We love the team there. Roy, who helps us there. Zach. I mean, the whole staff is incredible, and Eva has a great relationship with all of them. You would never get access to that. So thousands of dollars in World Vantage, thousands of dollars in the foundation room. Here's the other thing. Cencura, our white glove concierge partner. Okay, here's the thing. This is their tagline. This is what they say. We can get it for you as long as it's legal. As long as it's legal, we can get it for you. So that means they told me that they had a client that paid them to put real snow on a private jet and fly it somewhere in the Middle East where they wanted the snow. Okay? This is the best concierge platform in the world. It would cost you, just to get yourself on their platform, about £1,000, okay, because they're based in the UK. It's about £1,000 a month to have Cencura. That's 10,000 pounds plus 12,000 pounds. Now that's like 15 to 20 grand US per year to have Cencura. So 15 to 20 grand to have Cencura, 5 to 10,000 to have the foundation room, thousands to have World Vantage. And that's just three things. And we're charging $179. And people are like, Wes, I don't know. This $179. I'm like, $179. We should be charging $779. We should be charging $999. Cencura charges 1,000 pounds for just that. Foundation room charges basically $1,000 a month to get access to the 14 foundation rooms. And then it's $5,000 at most country clubs just to have World Vantage. That's $30,000 in value in three benefits. And then our travel technology doesn't even exist anywhere else. Our resort weeks doesn't exist anywhere else. The way we built it and integrated it all into one place, none of our competitors have it. So when you talk about how we're a digital country club, the value of what we have, no one can touch what we've got. We're not a travel company. We're a digital social club. We're a digital country club. And this week, the new golf presentation is going to be out. You're going to see that. And so you're going to be able to attract more golfers. You're going to be able to really focus on this whole digital country club concept. We've got an entire branding message that's being created for this. I'm telling you, 6 months from now, you're not even going to recognize this company because the amount of new people, the amount of growth, this 100 to 800, we've already got over 20 people that are already live for 300. Okay, so we're basically almost a third of the way there. Okay, and this weekend we're going to announce several more. In fact, Denson, when he comes on in just a minute, he may even want to share. There's several people that have ranked up in the last few days. We're going to recognize them tomorrow night on the corporate call, but he might even want to throw out some names. I mean, we're going to get that 100 to 800. Okay. I'm hoping that it happens by May 15th because I really want to have this huge party for all of you Lifer 800s in Florida when we come for the convention. So, how many of you right now watching right here are committed to hitting the Lifer 800 by May 15th for our convention? Put sevens in the chat if you're committed, or put I'm in or I'm one. I asked everybody to post our document. It's in the chat. It's in the group chat on the Facebook page. I got a lot of people that are typing it in right now. But we've got the 100 to 800, and you're supposed to post it on your social media, and just in the comment or just in the description of the post with the photo, put I'm one, because people are going to see this Orlando image with 100 by 800 and they're not going to know what it is. So people are going to be curious. They're going to want to know what you're talking about. What is that? What does this mean? You're going to have people that'll reach out to you and ask you about it. So if you've not taken that post, go get that post out of the Facebook group. In fact, what I'll do is, if I think I pinned it, so let me check really quick. Yep. Eva pinned it. So it's the very first post on the members group. So take that image and go post it on your social media today. Instagram, Facebook. I posted it and I had several people ask me what it meant, and put I'm one. Okay? So everybody go do this. This is your homework for today. Make sure you go get this photo from the group and then post it on all your social pages, and then just put in the caption I'm one, and watch and wait and see. You will get people that'll ask you, what is this? What does that mean? What are you talking about? Okay. And so I just want to go through here as I get ready to bring Denson on, and see all the people. I'm going to count them really quick. This is awesome. Like pretty much everybody in here. I know some of you already hit it. Wonderful just hit it. Congrats. We've got several others that just hit it. I'm one. Okay, this is awesome. We're definitely going to get 100 to 800. I'm hoping that it's by May 15th. We're definitely on track. We can get there. If you've not already got your tickets to Orlando, that's your other homework, okay? This is going to be the biggest event we've ever had. We've already sold more tickets that'll make it the biggest event we've ever had on just the tickets that we've already sold. It's going to be even bigger. And so this is something that if you're going to do this business, you've got to be at these events. You've got to be at a Super Saturday. So find a Super Saturday that's within a few hours of you that you can go to. Go to Memphis next weekend, go to Tampa, or go to Atlanta. So if you're anywhere in Florida or anywhere in the South, you've got 3 places that you can get to. We'll be doing something in the Northeast once it warms up. Okay, that was good planning on our part. We didn't plan anything up in the Northeast this month. But we will be doing some stuff up there. So as you guys continue to grow up in the Northeast and in the Midwest, St. Louis and Kansas City and Illinois, we'll be coming up there to do some stuff up there as well. And so we're going to hit these numbers. And if you have not already got your tickets to Orlando, please go buy them today. We're going to be finalizing all of the different venues over the next couple of weeks, and we're basing it on our ticket projections. Okay, so it's really important that you don't wait until the last minute. If you're planning on being in Orlando, don't wait. It hurts us as a company in our cost and being able to run an efficient event and to have the right AV and all of the activities, the parties and everything set up. So we really need you to do your part and go get your tickets so we know who's going to be with us in Orlando. And of course, make sure you go post the 100 by 800 photo and put I'm one. We want to see your post. We want to know who's committed to hit Lifer 800. And so without further ado, I'm going to actually turn things over to our Director of Field Sales, Mr. Denson Taylor. He's got some great information for you today to talk about what's happening in Bright Life, what's hot. There's a ton of energy. We've had 2 of our biggest sales weeks in company history over the last couple of weeks, massive amount of rank ups and a lot of success. And so it's a large part thanks to Denson getting on the road, working with different teams in different markets. And remember, if you want Denson or I to come to your markets, all you have to do is build it. Remember, we talked about this in the training last week. If you build it, they will come. We told you if you have events with 15 to 20 people for just a couple of weeks, We'll come and pour gas on the fire with you. We'll do a Super Saturday. If you can get an interest list signed of at least 50 people, we will come do a Super Saturday for you in your market as well. And we'll fly in and we'll put the event on for you. So just get with your team, get with your members, and start building so we can grow towards these numbers. So Denson, I'm going to turn things over to you.
All right, awesome, Wes. I really appreciate that. And I tell you what, you guys give it up. Let me see in the chat box. Give it up for Wes. I've told you all over and over and over again, we are in a different phase in this company right now. We're moving into concentration. So what does that mean? That means that it's a different company. We're attracting more of the right kinds of people. And when we get enough of those people in place, this thing's going to absolutely explode. All you want to do before we hit momentum is get yourself to, 7,500, 15,000, 30,000, 50,000 a month. You want to do that before the company hits momentum, because typically the way that it works, don't know if this will be the case here, no guarantees, but typically this is what I've seen before is whatever position you're at by the time the company hits momentum, you could go tenfold whether you were working or not. So right now it is about what? It's just about working smart, working hard, doing the day what others won't, so you can have tomorrow what others don't. And guys, that's just about getting as far up the ladder as you can. I love Wes and I are perfect partners. I'm gonna tell you why. I know, number one, that we're going to have the best product out there. I don't even have to worry about that. All I've got to do is put people in, plug them in, move them along. Okay. So what's great about having, a partner like Wes, partners like Eva, is they're going to bring us the best. Okay. But what is our deal? Okay. We are in the business of what? Duplication. We're in the business of building the team. That's what we do. That's what we have to do. We don't even have to worry about what the product is. What do we have to do? We got to put people in, plug them in, and move them along. Okay, so y'all are buck wild, man, in the chat box. I love it. I love it. So, if we just focus on, what it's about, for us, then we'll do very well. So what I'm going to cover with you guys very quickly. I'm not going to do our typical training or whatever. I put together a training that I call the expose and close process. And you really have to break this kind of a deal down where you got a daily method of operation. You're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And some will, some won't, so what next? But you've got to number one, decide who you're going to go after, make a list. And making a list now is easier than anytime. I've been involved in this business, this type of a business now full time for over 30 years. It's easier now for a person to get started than ever before. And the reason is because your list already made, where we had to put together a list before. You don't have to do that now. Your list already in your phone, your list is already in your social media, your list is already done. So what am I saying to you right now? All you got to do is access, those lists. Okay. That's simply what it's all about. So what do you want to do? You want to go into your phone and pull 20 names out, pull 30 names out, people that you have influence with, pull 50 names out. Okay. Just understand, the more people that you have on your list, the better off you are ultimately. Why? Because the more people you have on your list, the less you are worried about anybody that says yes or no or whatever. So go into your phone, pull all the names out of anybody you've got influence with, go into your social media account, go into your email accounts. Guys, you already have these people already compiled, okay? But you need to write it down, because when you write something down, I don't know if you've ever realized this, but when you write something down, that is all that you can focus on, is whatever you're writing at that time. So you absolutely want to focus on your list. It is your inventory for your business. And one thing, here very soon, and Wes and I have been talking about this, is and I've pretty much got it all put together. Wes, I'll be sending it over to you later today. But guys, we're about to send you an email every day with exactly what you need to do over the next 10 days in order for you to go on and get your two people in place because we are very serious about the duplication of two. If we manage, when we manage, I'm not even going to say if because it's a when. When we manage to duplicate two through 15 levels, you do that in your organization, you max this comp plan out at 500,000 a month. Well, guys, look, if you can get two, guess what? You can help another person to get two. We can help anybody to do what we've already done. So the expose and close. Okay, number one, I'm going to talk to you about how to effectively approach and close. I'm going to talk to you about building confidence in your conversations. I'm going to talk to you about creating curiosity and taking action. Okay, so the goal of the approach, you want to start conversations, not presentations. I need some of y'all to write this down. You want to start conversations about what we're doing, not give a person a presentation. Don't turn an invite, okay, into a presentation. Okay, you want to start conversations, not presentations. Some of y'all need to say that over and over again. All you want to do here is create curiosity, not pressure a person to get involved. Sort, don't sell. Okay, now the mindset, you have to develop the right mindset before you talk to anybody. You're offering value here. You're not asking for favors. Some of you all put yourself in a weakened state with people because you're going to them in desperation. No, we think about the value that Wes just covered with this particular app. Think about it, okay? He just showed you something that no other company out there has. He just showed you something that we really should be charging $1,000 a month for. That we're giving a person a deal at $179 a month. So, guys, look, understand that we're offering people value. We don't need them to do this. I don't beg anybody. In fact, if somebody says something, to me that suggests that this, is not right for them or they don't get it or whatever, guys, look, I'm getting away from that person. So stop begging people. You just understand the value that you offer. Okay. On the membership side of this, we're giving the person something for 179 that we should be charging $1,000 a month for. And let me prove that to you. I'm a member of a club here in Atlanta called the Buckhead Club. It's a social club. Okay. So what does Buckhead Club give me? It gives me the ability to meet people, in an upscale environment. It gives me the ability to meet people at locations across the country. It gives me a fraction of a small golf benefit that a fraction of what we have. So it gives me a few golf courses that I can play. It gives me, slight discounts on travel, not like what I have here. And guess what, guys? I pay Buckhead Club like $240 a month. All right, so I pay them that every month to be able to maybe have an office away from home that I can go into and work and maybe meet people at. I can also do dinner there, okay, and it's just whatever's on their menu. But my point, guys, is this: can I refer to and make it free? Absolutely not. I can maybe get a month's credit if I refer somebody, maybe, but no, I can't refer to and make it free. And then can I refer to and make money? Absolutely not. So, what am I telling you guys? Understand the value that we have here. Okay, understand we've got something that no other company has. We're giving people a deal at 179 a month, and this is the thing that I understand is I'm giving you an opportunity to set you and your family financially free. Nothing out there is going to do that, for most people. So some will, some won't. So what next? Okay. Some will, some won't. So what? Somebody's waiting. Okay. Some will, some won't. So what next? Don't worry about it. Go on to the next person because somebody right now is praying. They prayed for God for what we have, and God will put you in contact with that person. Okay. Your job is to invite, not to convince. Okay. So step number one, warm up the conversation. You want to be, when you call a person, guys, be natural and relax. Don't go into your sales mode or anything like that. You want to talk to that person about their life first. Ask them about their life. Get caught up. Ask them about their work, their travel. People have to know that you care before they care what you know. All right. You might want to write that one down. Listen more than you talk. Okay. Some of y'all have to remind yourselves to listen with your ears. Okay. One of my business partners, Keith, talks about that all the time. I have to remind him sometimes. Listen with your ears, not your mouth. Okay. You want to have a natural conversation with people. Now, step number two, you want to use a curiosity-based transition. I think the perfect one is, do you like traveling and making money? Guys, look, that's a simple question. They're either going to tell you yes or no. Okay, well, if they tell you yes, if they answer yes to this question, then the next thing you want to say to them is, look, I've got something that you've got to see. Okay, you absolutely have to see this. Now, they say, well, what is it? You want to keep it short. Let them ask you for more. Well, what is it? I can't explain it over the phone. You're going to get your influence, use your influence to get them to take a look. Now, this is what you don't want to do. Don't explain the company. Don't talk compensation plan details. Don't overwhelm them with information. You just tell them, just say, well, what is this? You just tell them, look, it's way too important for me to try to explain over the phone. All right. And then step three is what? The simple invite. We've got a private webinar happening at 9 o'clock Eastern that will give you all of the details. Now, you all know I talked last week about how if we do webinars the right way, okay, if we all just decide, okay, if we're going to do this, let's do it. Let's stop going through the motions. Let's go on and create the excitement. Let's put the numbers. There's power in numbers. So let's put numbers on these webinars. So we all made a decision, and you guys stepped up to the plate this past week. We made a decision that if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. So when we do these webinars the right way, guess what? Some will, some won't. So what next? But if it's the right person based on that webinar, they're gonna get involved. Okay, so you send them the site over. We all commit to do them the right way, and then what you're gonna do is this, guys. You're gonna edify the presenter. You're going to edify the tool, which is a webinar, but you're not edifying yourself. Okay. You're going to keep it on what? The tool. The tool gets the job done. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you, some people have different opinions about this. Some of y'all think we do too many webinars. I personally don't think we do enough webinars. Okay. Over the last couple of weeks, yeah, I'm telling you, since we were, a lot of people were snowed in and that kind of thing. Some of us did 3, 4 webinars per day. Now, let me explain to you why I'm this way. All right. If I'm going to do something, I do it. If I'm gonna pull a band-aid off of a wound, I'm gonna rip it off. Okay. That's just the way that I am. So if we're gonna do it, let's do it. Well, let's take one person here that they don't want to they don't want to sell totally out, or they don't want to just become crazy about this, so they're just going to do and plug into maybe one presentation a week. They're going to do one webinar a week, or maybe one presentation that they might do in their area a week. So they're exposing people to one opportunity a week to get people in front of this, right? So you think about it. Some of you all, and I'm gonna say hats off because you've already promoted, but some of you all actually did that with 4 different presentations that we may have done in one day. So think about how you compress your time frame. All right, you got this person over here that's kind of, yeah, whenever it happens, it's going to be great, whatever. So they do one a week. They bring a person in this week, and that person, is waiting on that presentation that next week to bring people. Well, most of those folks are going to be out of the business before they even get started, right? So once a week, but now you got people on the first webinar. Okay, you taught those people to bring people. You brought people to the second webinar. They brought people to the third, fourth. Do you realize you compressed the time frame to the point where you had a month's activity in one day from almost say the average person. So again, guys, you do today what other people want, so you can have tomorrow what other people don't. What's the deal with doing one webinar every day for 5 days? You're talking 2.5 hours of work when we've been conditioned to work how many hours? 40 hours, right? So guys, look, do today what others want, so you can have tomorrow what others don't. Now, step number 4, edify the expert. Use
Really
third
quick,
party.
hey Denson, I wanted to
Yes.
just really quick pop on the chat's going crazy right now, and people are
Okay.
thanking you for the extra presentations you did last weekend. but I wanted to remind everybody that we're doing an extra presentation at 5 p.m. Eastern today. And so everybody's stuck at home. If you guys haven't seen the weather, everybody's at home.
Mhm.
So we could have 200 or 300 people on this webinar at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Pacific today at Zoom VIP room. And you can make money because people are at home on their couch. They can't go anywhere. You have a captive audience, just like we had last weekend. We had hundreds of people get exposed, dozens and dozens of new signups last weekend, and we're doing it again today at 5 p.m. Eastern. So don't forget to use that, take advantage of it. I mean, very rarely in life, I mean, there's no football today. I mean, there's literally, you're competing. I mean, there's no kids' activities, all the sporting events, everything was canceled, in most parts of the country. So you're literally competing with nothing. Always, when we invite people, we're competing for their attention. But today and last weekend was one opportunity where you don't have any competition. So take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we see the results. Eva put something in the chat box here, and she knows because she actually kept track of this. But Eva, I appreciate this. She said we have proof that this works. 846 people came to Zooms last Sunday through Monday. So my deal is this, guys. If our end game is what? And it's not the end game, but our goal is to what? Duplicate 2 through 15 levels, max out the comp plan at 500,000 a month. So my question to you all is this, okay? Do you want to do it fast or do you want to do it slow? Well, it's a business of momentum. Slow does not work. Do you understand that? If I'm a pilot and I'm trying to get a jumbo jet into the air, what's the process? I have to rev the engines to their highest point to get that, jumbo jet off the ground. Once I get it into the air, once we get it to a certain point, yeah, we can throttle back. But guess what? If you just kept this thing on easy go and you never rev the engines up, guess what? You maybe could cruise around town, but you're not gonna ever get it in the air. Well, your business works the exact same way. Speed is our friend here. But guess what? Slow and steady does not cut it. So, that's exactly what you want to do is we're going to always compress the time frame. That's just how I'm wired. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that something is going to change and, man, we'll just, keep going, whatever. No. And as far as anything competing with time, guys, you got to change your posture with people. You got to understand that you're offering them something here that their job is not giving them the opportunity to do. Most people's business does not give them the opportunity to make 500,000 a month residual based income. A person's job certainly is not going to do that. So change your posture. Start, you got to raise your belief level. And I'm telling you, you'll use your influence to get people on. But Wes, I appreciate you, bringing that out. So what you want to do is this, use third-party tools. In this case, I'm telling you, we do the webinars the right way. Nothing is more powerful than the webinars. The only thing that's more powerful than a webinar being done the right way is an in-person meeting. Okay, but right now, weather's inclement, it's snowing here in Atlanta. We're going to use the webinars. Okay, now when you edify the expert, you just want to, say, just tell them about whoever's presenting. If I'm presenting, you need to just, tell them points about me. If Wes is presenting, tell them points about Wes. You want to edify whoever is presenting and keep yourself out of the convincing role. Okay. They either see it or they don't. I'm real big on that. Now, the fortune is in the follow up. Look at follow up this way. Number one, you want to follow up within the first 24 hours. And you want to ask that person in your follow up, what'd you like best about what you just saw? The travel, the money, or both? All right, guys, don't leave this open ended. Like if you ask the person, look, what'd you think? You asking them to think about it, right? If you have somebody to look at this, what'd you think? Well, I'll think about it. And now you're going in circles. You can't look, tell me yes, tell me no, tell me quick, I've got to go. Okay, write that down. Yeses are fine, nos are fine, but what we can't accept is maybes. Maybes keep you strung out with the wrong people. You got to get them into one category, or yes, a yes or a no. So I'm gonna ask you, what'd you like best about what you just saw? The travel, the money, or both? Now, if that person says something like, I didn't like anything about it, I don't like, travel. I don't like making money. I don't like you. I don't like anything about this, guys. Look, whether they tell you no or not, that's a no. Okay, so just put it in the no column and move on. Now, the next thing is whatever they say. They're going to say travel, they're going to say money, or they're going to say both. Well, whatever it is, you just tell them I like that part too. Because even if it's the travel, even if it's the money or both, does anybody on this webinar like travel and money? Both of them? Absolutely. So you agree. And man, I like that part too. I'm sending you my enrollment link so that we can, if they said travel, we can start your benefits and your bucket list countdown. If they said money, so we can get you positioned for income. If they said both, I'm sending you my enrollment link right now so we can start your benefits, start your bucket list countdown, and go on and get you positioned for income. Does that make sense to you guys? Now, think about this. Is this the perfect way to do it? Is this the only way to do it? Absolutely not, but you've got to do it. So if this is the easiest way possibly, or one of the easiest ways to do it, you're better off to do it. You're better off to make a list of, 50 people, 20 people, whatever it is. And, you just ask them, you like traveling and making money? Man, I love traveling and making money. Okay, great. I got something you've got to see. What is it? I can't explain it over the phone. It's too important. I got a private webinar going on tonight at 9 o'clock. I'm going to send you the link over and I'll call you after the webinar. Who feels like they could do that? If you had a defined list in front of you and your job was to, expose 5 people a day on that list, who could do that if Wes would pay you 5,000 extra dollars a month to do it? Who would do it? Let me see. Okay. All right. Even if somebody told you no, who would do that? Okay, now Wes, I'm surprised you hadn't chimed in because I'm kind of putting you out there. I'm not telling y'all that Wes is going to send you 5,000 for doing this, but Wes, could it lead to 5,000 or more in income?
Absolutely. I mean, that's a bare minimum. I mean, if you could go through that program and that calendar and that schedule, you would be making 5,000 per month for sure.
There you go. And sometimes, guys, you have to act as if. Now, what do I mean? Well, act as if Wes is going to pay you 5,000 a month to do that and go do it. Just do it, right? So you just follow that process, okay? Now, you might say, well, Denson, what, my people don't want to talk about the money. That's fine. Still ask them the question. You like traveling and making money? Guess what they're gonna say? I like traveling, but I don't like making money. Okay, that's fine. I got something you got to see. Period. It's not a big deal, guys. And when they ask you what it is, say, look, I can't explain it over the phone. I know this is gonna be hard for some of y'all. Some of y'all are gonna have to mute your phones when they say, what is it? You just need to say, look, I can't explain it over the phone, and mute so you don't just throw up on them, okay? Can't explain it over the phone. Got a private webinar coming up at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna send you the link over and I'll call you after the webinar. Okay, too important for me to try to explain. And I will, I'll answer your questions after the webinar. Handling common objections. Okay, we get this one all the time. I don't have time. Now, I learned this one when I was in sales. In West, you might remember this. I know how you feel, not I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but this is what I found. Okay. You ever heard that one, Wes? I know how you feel. I felt the same way, and
Right.
this is what I
Fe-
found, right?
Feel, felt, found.
There you go. And all you're going to do is tell your story as to how, our system, and I'll just call it a webinar system because that's what we're focusing on, building the numbers on the webinar. So tell your story on how this system and our residual comp plan makes it possible for you to do this with very minimal time and ultimately free your time up. Okay. Now, if they say not interested, no big deal. Look, I totally get it. Who do you know that likes traveling and making money? Go on and see if they'll give you 8 or 10 names. And then, the next thing is, look, they'll say, send them info. Great, I will. Let's connect after you get on the webinar, after you watch the webinar, whatever. Okay. And then, of course, closing. Guys, write this down. A, B, C. Always be closing. I think you could, Wes, would you agree with this? I think a person could become a good closer, and the presentation wouldn't even matter as much as their skill to close. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
There you go. Because guess what? Your closing is a skill, and if you master that skill, it really doesn't matter what you say. I think you could close and get a certain number of people in your close, and guess what? Presenting is not a big deal because all you really got to do is point people to the webinar and we're going to do the work for you. So if they like it, you want to help them get started immediately. If they're unsure, then answer their questions or book a follow-up with your sponsor upline. Stories sell, facts tell. And if no, thank them and keep the relationship. Don't get mad at them for not doing this. This is not for everybody, okay? It's not a big deal. You just tell them, look, I understand. Who do you know? And I appreciate you taking a look, and I'll keep you updated on what's going on. Okay, now, and if anything changes, you let me know. And then, of course, duplication focus. All right, teach your new partners this exact approach. Simple systems is what ultimately duplicates, and then confidence comes from repetition, guys. If you do this over and over again, it becomes easier and easier as we go. Now, daily activity. You want to create 2 to 5 new conversations every day. You want to invite consistently and you want to track follow-ups. And again, guys, you're better off. See, some of you all, I'm gonna tell you where some of you all make your mistakes is what you want to do is say different things to different people. I wouldn't recommend you do that. I mean, you can. I'm not telling you not to, but I'm just telling you if you get good and comfortable with asking a person, because you gain control of the conversation by what asking questions, right? So if you get good at asking, look, you like traveling and making money. I mean, you might have a conversation with a person. You might be at a basketball game with your kid or something, and you all are talking about, this and that, and you might be talking about summer vacations. You might ask that person, look, you like traveling and making money? Yeah, man, we're going here this year and here this year and here this year. Well, do you have something they need to see? Absolutely. Just tell them, look, I got something you got to see. Man, what is it? Look, we got a webinar going on. I can't try, I don't want to try to explain this to you right now, but you got to see it. It'll save you thousands. Okay. And we can monetize it. Now, final thought, guys. Your job is not to convince. Okay. Don't turn your invitation into a presentation. Your job is what? To connect and invite. And consistency is what ultimately creates momentum. And this is what you have to understand. Okay. That 3-step process. I'm going to keep hammering this into your subconscious. You'll be dreaming about this process. Qualify with your two. Okay. If you do it within your first 20 days, your membership is free. First 28 days, like Wes said, we got a 4-week billing cycle. But if you don't, what if you don't do this in your first 28 days? Did you fail? No, you didn't fail. The only thing that happened is you probably didn't focus on making your list and you didn't go on and get people in front of that information. Okay, no big deal. Just do it the next month or the next month or whatever. Even if you paid the 179 all year, you're still going to get a $3,000 to $5,000 trip. It's almost like you put your bucket list trip on layaway if you paid your 179 every month. It's not a big deal. But the next thing you want to do is what? Help your two to qualify and then duplicate that process. 3 levels of that, guys, is life for 300. Now, we got folks that are catching on to this like crazy. Tomorrow, we got quite a bit of recognition. New people that are promoted to life for 300. Well, we got people that are promoted to life for 800. One person, Wes, that I want to recognize, and this is what you have to develop, is a sense of urgency. See, for some people, any excuse will do. For some people, no excuse will do. Because failure is not an option. So look, and she doesn't even know this. I had turned my bed down last night. It was like probably 12:30 in the morning, Wes. And all of a sudden I look at my phone and who but Wonderful is calling my phone. And I'm like, man, you see, she got all glory to God. So, I answered my phone and Wonderful was like, I need one more. I got to have one more. And, my daughter's on the edge, so I'm gonna go on and get her signed up and, we're gonna work her contacts. So I was like, all right, wonderful. That's great. Well, so look, wonderful goes in. They got the daughter signed up, Wes. So, I'm sitting here on the computer waiting for it to show up in the holding tank so we can get it placed. So, of course, she'll promote last night. Well, it never showed up in the holding tank. Okay. In fact, it actually charged her daughter twice, but it never showed up in the holding tank. So wonderful promoted. And I'm telling you, failure is not an option with people like this. This lady is like, she is like, it's unbelievable. Okay. Her drive. So she promotes the Lifer 800. You know why? Because she wouldn't accept anything different. Okay. Even the first of the day, I think she was probably like four people away, and she said, "Look, I'm gonna work to the end." And that's exactly what she did. So, Wes Eden, like the more people that engage like this, Wes Eden, this the kind of thing that drives companies in the momentum, wouldn't you say, Wes?
Yes, sir.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and guys, you have to understand that,
This is the foundation. I mean, this rank, when we hit that 100 to 800, this 300 is obviously the first step, and so this is the foundation. We're going to have thousands of lifer 800s eventually. And in order for people to be at 500K, 300K, 125K, we're going to have those thousands of people at those ranks. So this is a necessary step for the entire company.
there you go. And see, that's the thing that I love about this is like that jump from 300 to 800 guys takes your, check from 75 to 200. Well, is that a big deal? Absolutely, it is a big deal. Like her goal this week is to run from 800 to 1600. Guys, look, you have to decide what you're going to do, okay, and make the commitment to make it happen. And now, is that worth it for her to do that? Absolutely, because her check goes from what, 800? It goes from 200 a week to 400 a week. That's very significant. So that's the thing that I would tell you all is this, get serious about your business because what's the only difference you think? I want to see somebody put this in the chat for me. What's the difference in 800 a month and 75,000, or let's say 7,500 a month and 75,000 a month? Does anybody have any idea what's the difference? Do you think you have to have a different skill set, or is it a different activity? No, it's time. It's time, guys. That's the only, you don't have to, it's not a different skill set. It's not necessarily more activity. It's that you get good. You develop the skill of what? Putting people in, plugging them in, moving them along. And then time is the only difference. Because, Wes, let me ask you something, okay? It takes two people to qualify for everything in the comp plan. So if I've got numbers, 250, 250, you'll pay me 7,500 a month. If I've got 2750, 2750, do I have to sponsor more personal people, or do I have to give a better presentation, or how's that work, Wes?
No, once you're fully qualified, you're fully qualified. Then it just depends on what happens because of you, after you, or through you.
Now we're casting vision right now. Wes, how is this different from any other company? I've been in network marketing 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. How is this different from any other company that you've ever seen?
Well, I mean, we're paying out between 10 and 20 times more than World Ventures paid out, and we did 4 billion in revenue on that comp plan. So, if that tells you anything, we're paying out 10 to 20 times more. I mean, the the top rank at World Ventures was capped at 50,000 a month. That was it. That was the most you could make. And so we're paying out 10 times more on the top level. And then some of these early levels, we're paying out 20 times more than what we were paying out for the same volume.
Wow. Unbelievable. And guys, you have to understand, like a lot of y'all think, man, this is just like anything else. Nothing. This is unlike anything. It's just like our benefits package that we have. It's unlike anything else that's ever been done. You have to recognize that and take advantage of it because I think you'll have huge regrets when this company hits momentum if you do not take this seriously right now. That's the reason a lot of people think I'm crazy. And you know what? I am crazy to a certain degree. And I think you got to be a little bit crazy in order to make this work in a big way. But the bottom line is this: crazy can very quickly turn into cool when you're making 500,000 a month, right? I mean, it's just like, we see some of the stars and famous people. We know they're crazy. We know they are, but you know what? Because of their fame and money, they kind of look cool, but we know deep down they're crazy. Well, that's fine. I'll be crazy because what's normal in America? Average income, $40,000 a year to work 40 years, 40 hours a week for 40 years and never get financial freedom. That's normal. So, who wants to be normal, right? That's what it's all about. Now, guys, look, as you're going through this process of approaching, this is the last thing I'm going to cover with you guys, okay? The comp plan works off the simple duplication of two. You have to prepare your mind for all of the rejection that you can potentially get here. Because I look at some of y'all, man, you get off to great starts and you run into somebody that tells you that'll never work. You take advice from people about this business that are not even in the business. They don't even have a clue. They've never built a network marketing business before. They certainly don't know what's going on with our company. But you know what? It's two reasons that people would discourage you here. Number one, they're not willing to do what you do, so they don't want to see you go and do it. So, if you're talking about the financial freedom and that kind of thing, they don't want to see you do that because they're not willing to do it. Or it's an ignorance thing. They simply know what they know, what they know. They know that they know that they know, but they don't know. It is impossible to know what you do not know. So that person, man, I heard somebody got in Amway and they didn't make any money. You don't want to do that. They're telling you that because they care about you. But look, don't ever take advice from a person that's not done what you ultimately want to do, right? You want to take advice from people that have ultimately done it. So once you make that written list, okay, and I'm gonna tell you, the written list is an inventory for your business. So you absolutely want to take this seriously. So let's say this was a game plan. I told you to make a list of 52 people. Okay. And I say, okay, we're going to take this and we're going to play it like a card game. We're going to flip. If you'll flip one card at a time, okay, every time you get an ace, I'll pay you $1 million. Who would do this? Who would play this game with me? Okay. So every time you flip an ace, I want to see who would do this. Because some of y'all, some of you would go ask your brother, and your brother would say, "Man, there's no way that's too good to be true. It's no way that would happen, right?" So who would do it? Okay, so I see absolutely you guys would do it. Now, if I gave you that deal, what's your earning potential? If it's a regulation deck of playing cards, what's your earning potential? Okay, so LeRon says it's four aces in the deck. If I'm gonna pay you $1 million per ace, you got a possibility of making $4 million, right? Well, this is the thing, okay? Let's say I threw a serious monkey wrench in this thing. Number one, you got to flip one card at a time. You can't just turn them all over and pull the aces out. Second thing is, I'm only going to give you 1 minute to get this done. If you don't get them all in 1 minute, guess what? Deal off. You don't make anything. Well, how would this change your approach? And what I mean by this is, what if you flip five cards with no aces? What would you do? Some of y'all would be like, "Man, my wife told me to go get a job. She told me this wasn't going to work. I can't do this anymore." I mean, how am I a husband and I'm gonna let my wife tell me that I can't do something that could give our family financial freedom and generational wealth? You all see what I'm saying? It's certain things that she can tell me that I can't do, but going out there and paying a price is not one of them, guys. And that's something that you have to do because that is ultimately our responsibility, right? So you don't have time to be discouraged. You ain't got time to let somebody discourage you because I'm only giving you 1 minute. Or what if you got a two of clubs? Would you spend a lot of time trying to turn that into an ace? Okay, and I'm gonna tell you how some of you, I'll be on three ways, man. I was on three ways with one of my guys not too long ago, and I had to tell him. I said, "Keith, this guy here's a two of clubs, man. This is not an ace, But what you're doing is you're telling people that look, all you got to do is turn this two into an A, and then you move this club to the middle one, and we'll erase this one. No, you don't have time for that because you only got four aces. You got a minute to find the four aces, right? So what am I telling you? Quickly you figure out this is simply a business of sorting. And guess what? If you make your list and you're willing to go through to find your four aces, you are going to get to the money. Now, Wes Melcher, let me ask you this. Okay. Would you agree that four key people could change a person's life here?
Yeah, I mean, it really honestly could happen with as few as two, but you can't put all your eggs into one basket. And to me, the one thing that I learned from my mentor was that the new blood is the lifeblood. And you have to always keep the main thing, means that you should always be recruiting. I have only lived in my new area for like 3 weeks, and I signed up four new people this week that I had never met before, didn't know before, and met them through Facebook, through just posting in groups, meeting people in the area. And this is going to be one of our biggest markets and fastest growing teams. And I've never even been in this city before when I got my place sight unseen. So I've literally never even physically stepped foot into Sarasota until I moved here 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, if you want it, all you have to do is go get it and do it. But I've done 5 events. I've had an event every single week. It started with two. I went through this in the training last week. So if you didn't watch last week's training, you should go watch it. I walked you through exactly how I signed these people up, exactly how I met them. And now, this last week, we had over 15 people at 2 meetings back to back. We'll have 20 to 30 at our next one. And the meetings have only been happening for 3 weeks. So.
There we go. And Wes, similar to that, I met Keith when I was out on the road, and we called it. I mean, same thing that I just taught you guys. Guys, look, we talked, we called up. I hadn't seen Keith in 25 years. Okay, but you know what I asked him before we finished up? Keith, let me ask you something, man. He was already traveling. You like traveling and making money? He was like, "What you got going on?" I said, "Look, can't explain it, okay, but I'm gonna send you the information over." He gets involved. He put me on a three-way with Wanda, and that team in Dallas right now is the fastest growing team right now in the company, guys. These guys have added almost 100 new members over the holidays, over with bad weather, and have already, like, let me see, Pastor Rick is 800. He's already broken 4 300s. Wonderful just made 800. Keith is a few people away from 800. Guys, this is how it works. So Wes, you're absolutely right. The new blood is what it's all about. And guess what? You have to make the commitment. Like for me, I'm willing to do whatever it takes because guess what? I'm gonna meet the next person and the next person and the next person and the next person until we max this comp plan out for many of you guys. That is what it is all about. And I'm gonna show you another powerful thing here. Okay, this group happened to hit below some of some folks that have been sitting there for a while, making residual income over the last year, but now all of a sudden they're getting these dings. Okay, they're getting these, so and so just came in. They might get 10 or 15 of those alerts every day. And guess what that does? And now all of a sudden, these people are looking at it saying, man, this is working. And it makes them recommit. Guys, I'm telling you, everything about this was thought out. All you got to do is just go do it. Don't see, some of y'all are thinking your way, out of this. Okay, you're majoring in the minors, but you have to understand our business is the duplication of two. Wes's business is the app. Eva's business is the relationships and the app. My business is the duplication of two. Okay, put them in, plug them in, move them along. So that is absolutely right. Now, let's say that you teach your people that, and now all of a sudden new blood starts to just explode within your organization. You think you'll have, like say you got somebody that's qualified at a right at a six-figure income, 7,500 on the left, 7,500 on the right. Guess what? You're 15,000 a month. If you got somebody qualified at 15 left, 15 right, you're at 30,000 a month. That is the way that this was set up. So it goes back to the Zig Ziglar philosophy of if I help enough other people get what they want, I by default get what I want. I don't even have to look at my success. All I've got to do is help other people to be successful. So, Wes, that pretty much concludes my training. Today, of course, if there's anything else you want me to cover, you let me know. In fact, let me do this real quick, pull up the right screen because I've got a lot of things open on my computer. So, Wes, I am going to turn it back over to you. Is there anything else you want me to cover?
No, buddy, that's it. It's going to be a great day today. We're hoping to see a big crowd of you back at 5 p.m. Eastern. You've got about 4 hours to invite. We should pack it out. We, of course, have the Zoom tomorrow night as well. Both these Saturday and Sunday Zooms should be huge because we have no competition. People are home stuck with nothing to do. And remember, you don't have to wait for the 5 o'clock today. You could get them on the whybrightlife.com video right now. So as you're inviting, if they're not available at 5, get them to watch the video right now. Put them on a three-way for third-party validation, and let's work today. I mean, here's the thing. Some of you are going to be working today and making money, and some of you are just going to be, watching TV and doing stuff around the house, and the rest of us are going to be getting paid today. So which one are you going to be? Are you going to get paid today, or are you going to let us get paid and you just basically do the stuff that everybody else is doing? So that's really where these things start to turn champions into the top performers and stories that you're going to be hearing about for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the road. Because remember, what you do today is not going to show up in your paycheck for probably 60 to 90 days. So the work that we're putting in right now this weekend is going to show up 60 to 90 days from now. How many of you is it going to show up for? So thank you so much for getting on here. This training will be posted immediately today, so it'll be available for anybody that was not available to watch it live. We appreciate all of you for being here today. Can't wait to see everybody at 5 o'clock, zoomviproom.com, 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Our corporate Zoom at 8 p.m. Eastern is followed by the 9 p.m. Eastern Zoom for prospects tomorrow. So Sunday night is the beginning of the week, but let's get a head start today. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Denson. We'll see everyone on the next Zoom.